we are going to have our first edition of Martinis and Mortgages.
Let's go.
Let's cheers without making a mess. If you know one thing about me and you're here and you're local or we've been anywhere together, you know that I love espresso martinis. It's honestly my favorite. I love it. I love other martinis, but espresso martinis have a special place in my heart, and they always will. So anytime you guys want to go to an espresso martini, like let me know because I'll probably be down and having 3 of them, and I won't sleep. That's where everyone's like, oh, you always work. That's why, because I constantly have an espresso martini in one hand. I'm not an alcoholic. I do not need to be going to any meetings. I'm perfectly fine. But I have my friend Chelsea with me, and we are going to be talking about mortgages. And what I wanted to really talk about was some of the stuff that we just don't know. If we're not in the realm of it, we don't know the realm of it, but options that you guys have right now with the current market, because it is a daiquiri. It's a daiquiri being made. But no, so we really want to talk about the benefits that you guys have right now in this market, because we are in
A buyer's market.
It's a buyer's market.
It's 100%.
It's finally your turn.
Yes.
After all this time you've been waiting since 2020 on the fence, waiting for interest rates to drop, waiting for home prices to drop, how much longer are you guys going to wait for this? Like, I'm really confused.
Now's
Probably
the time.
when they retire.
Yeah, maybe.
They're going to be pushed into an old folks home before they even buy. It's going to be rough. Y'all are going to be homeless. I'm just kidding. I hope you're not. I'm going to fix that. We're going to fix that. You're not going to be homeless. But it's a buyer's market, and there's advantages you can have. Yes, of course, with new construction. But I want to talk about more of the resale option of options you have. Both, can't they do things such as build in their closing costs right now into their mortgages? Like, there's options of that if they qualify.
If they qualify, yes.
There's also options of down payment assistance, correct?
Absolutely.
But there's a ton of options. And not only that, like, I mean, for those people who you own your own business or things like that, there are loans that you guys can qualify for. So don't think you have to do the traditional loan. You don't have to do a traditional one. So there's lots of options. So let's talk about some of the options.
Okay. There's plenty of options, especially in the state of Florida, that are down payment assistance and closing costs, like getting it covered. And so there's a few called the bond program. They give you $10,000 towards closing costs and down payment. So let's say you have a little bit of money, but you don't have all of the money. That's a great option. The next one is Hometown Heroes, which is coming out in July 1st. It's coming back. Comes back July 1st, and that is huge. So it gives you up to 5% of the loan value or up to $35,000. Huge. Like,
that's huge for people who don't make enough money. And like, you guys should be paid way more money. Like, honestly, I don't know why you don't just get free homes at this point. Like, how much you guys sacrifice. I cannot help you with the free home, but I can help you with the Hometown Heroes.
And the great news is you don't have to be like a police officer or anything like that. You just have to work at a brick and mortar in the state of Florida.
Really?
Yeah.
So, like, okay, I'm a dental hygienist.
Yeah. Done.
I'm a receptionist at a doctor's office.
Done.
What are y'all waiting for? Look at this.
Easy. And it comes out July 1st. Now, here's the kicker on this one. It lasts maybe 8 weeks. So you have like an 8-week window to take advantage of that specific program. If you don't take advantage of it, there's plenty of other options, but that I would say is going to be like give you the most bang for your buck.
Okay, so this is like a scenario that if someone is interested and they're like, I don't want you to be pushy on me or anything like that, this is like literally a time-sensitive thing that's like, okay, if you want to take advantage of this product, like you have to act soon. Honestly, okay, so you're saying it comes out in July. Technically, it's April right now. Next month, they should probably start getting all their documents and everything together to prep to get pre-approved or pre-qualified.
Absolutely. So it's like now is the best time to go ahead and get yourself in a good position to make sure that you can get pre-approved, because you want to be pre-approved and already looking at houses before it comes out, because it goes so fast. Like once the money is gone, it does not come back out until the next July. So it's once like you're done after, and essentially like eight weeks, I would say, is like kind of like you're really pushing it to be able to, like the past 2 years, that's been the trend.
If you're enjoying this video so far and your friends maybe have questions about mortgages or really good espresso martinis, this is the place you actually want to find that information. So go ahead, like, subscribe, and go ahead, heck, share it with your friend right now. And then they can find out more questions that they have about mortgages that probably they're not asking the questions for, because I see them on Facebook groups and you guys aren't answering them. But let's get back to the questions.
The next one is going to be essentially not necessarily a program, but taking advantage of the market, like we just talked about. It's going to be seller concessions, getting the sellers to actually pay for your closing costs. And let's say maybe you're just coming with a down payment. You can, if the house were to appraise, you could always up the purchase price a tad, roll in those closing costs like we had chatted about too. Yeah. So kind of the seller gets what they need, you get what you need, and it's a great option. Yeah. And then there is a great program for first-time home buyers that not necessarily helps with closing costs or down payment assistance, but it helps with your interest rate, and it's called AMI. So this...
I don't know of this, so I'm pretty pumped right now.
So there's a thing called LLPAs, which is loan level pricing adjustments. So your credit score can adjust your interest rate. Your down payment can adjust your interest rate. Well, if you fall under the average median income of Duval County or whatever county you're looking in, we remove those LLPAs. So you are just looking at a like stripped version of your interest rate. So you're getting a much better payment because of your income.
Also, to talk about like things that are like active in the market, like how you can negotiate too. Like she was saying, you can get closing costs rolled in. You can get some are buying down rates. There are options. I do want to touch on this. Ooh, this is a really good subject. Assumable mortgages.
Oh. Okay.
So tell me why you rolled your eyes.
Well.
And because it's becoming so active right now with people wanting to do assumable mortgages, because everyone thinks that interest rates are, oh, it's a 5.25. Oh, it's a 3% interest rate. I really want to take their interest rate. Tell me the reality of that, because we're going to see more of that now, because those people are now looking to upgrade, downgrade, whatever. Like they're done with their home, basically.
Yeah, absolutely. So assumable mortgages, you just need to know what you're getting into is really the bigger thing. So time frame depends on the lender. So if it's like someone way off in the ether, who knows where they are, they basically dictate the time frame, and you have to get approved to take over that mortgage with that lender. So you can't use whoever you want. You have to go to that lender. I've heard in multiple scenarios it could take up to 6 months to get approved, to get the whole process done, to complete, and all of that good stuff. So the seller and the buyer have to be willing to come to terms on time frame, essentially, is a big one. The next thing is let's say their mortgage that they have now at that assumable 3% rate is only $200,000, but they're selling their house for $400,000.
Yeah.
Now you, as the buyer, have to come up with whatever that looks like, from $200 to $400, to come up with the difference. So whether that's a second mortgage with whatever second mortgage rates are, which could be 8%, 9%. And typically the lender holding the first mortgage will require you to go through them. Every lender's different, so it could be anything. So whether you need to get a second mortgage, you have the cash, which is ideal. That's like the perfect situation. You have the cash to come up to make up for it. But those are kind of the nuances that come with it. And if it's VA, the sellers have to be okay with giving up their entitlement. So the VA, you actually are giving up your entitlement
If the
to the buyer. If the responder isn't a VA. So just kind of a few nuances. It's not the worst thing, but it's also like weighing out your options. Like I have somebody now that's looking at an interest rate of like 5.875. And they're buying down 1 point, so they're not spending a ton of money, and they're almost at like somebody who would offer an assumable rate. So it's kind of weighing out your options and what actually is going to make the most benefit for you and your time frame and your cost and everything. If that second mortgage is a 9%, is it really going to make up for assuming that first mortgage?
Yeah.
Or is it, so it's kind of at this point like weighing out your options and making sure that the lender that you are working with for the assumable is able to do the second mortgage, is able to hit the dates that you need to hit and things like that.
Okay. And then you mentioned something about points. Like what do you mean buying? Like how much does it cost for a point? Like what's that?
That's a great question. Points are going to be, or the cost of a point is 1% of the loan amount.
Got it. So if I have a $320,000 loan, it's $3,200 for a point.
Yes. And so a point does not equal 1% of an interest rate.
I mean, it's a quarter, right?
Give or take.
Okay.
Give or take a quarter.
Got it.
Give or take a quarter. But yes, give or take a quarter interest rate to buy down 1 point.
Yeah.
So
it could get, like, to get 1 full percent down, what builders do, basically.
Yes.
So when they give that full percent down, it would cost about $13,000, $14,000 at the end of it. And that's maybe hoping it's a full percent down.
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because, people get confused with the points. They think that it's full, like, 4%, 5%, or whatever they do, like going actually physically down. Like, it's like, no, wrong way. So,
Yes. Yeah, exactly. You're 100% right. It's a big misconception.
love it. Actually, I'm curious about this. We're talking about mortgages. I want to talk about this.
Scare me when you say this.
Don't be scared when I say it. But we were talking about BS fees that lenders put within closing costs. Now, ready? BS fees that builders. Oh, yeah. Right? That might be a really loaded one, too.
That is a bit.
So we could do a small version. But, like, I even know of some. Like, I've seen, like, builders' fees where they're like, oh, they'll pay for us agents. Phenomenal. Great. 10 out of 10 job. Thanks. I appreciate it. But at the same time, there's, like, they have their own. Like, there's literally says builder fee in, like, Lennar, for instance. I closed with them. And we calculated it, and we're like, where are these fees coming from? And then I showed it to my, like, another preferred lender, and I showed it to an attorney, and they're just like, I mean, this is their fees. Why are there so many BS fees in building? And is it because, like, I'm probably going to answer my own question. Is it because they're buying down the rates, offering the low rates, basically building it into it, so then that's how they're able to be in cahoots with the builders? My debunking something I shouldn't try to debunk.
She's really going really going ham right now. So loaded question 100%.
Okay.
And there's definitely fees that come with, like, new builds that they can and will charge, and that's okay. I would just say that, yes, the interest rate might be lower, but if those fees outweigh that interest rate cost, like, what does that look like for you? And we can't control what the builder's going to charge. It is part of, like, kind of how they get their money back and things like that, for sure. Like, how they're going to, like, turn around. So there's different ways that the preferred lender for builders work. Like, there's 100 different ways. Most common is that the builder buys a block of interest rates. And so that could be a way that they're getting some of that money back, charging those extra fees and things like that. So it's really kind of what weighs out. And you can always have, like, a local lender be like, hey, can you just look at this? Like, there's no harm, no foul. Yeah, like, to be like, hey, can you just explain what this looks like? Just have a different professional in the industry look at it. Because it could be something, and it could be, like, there's no harm in asking your loan officer with the new build, why are you charging me this?
Yeah.
So there's, like, they can tell you, or they can say, they can maybe even go to bat for you that you don't have to pay for it. So there's different options for sure.
Yeah. Okay, so one last question, because I know it's on everyone's mind, about interest rates. Where do you see them going this year, based on your expertise?
Man, she's firing them off today. So I have been in the industry since 2018, and obviously going through COVID and what that looks like, it was pretty unpredictable. And I still think that our current market is very unpredictable. The historical trends are not the same as they were. So it's like looking into, like, a globe and guessing at this point. I truly think that we're in a good position with the interest rates and where they are now, but every day is different. Some days we get information that says that, we're coming down, and then, like, 2 days ago we went up, like, tremendously out of nowhere.
It's Slinky Dog at Disney World.
Yeah.
Like, constantly.
And we went up 2 days ago because it was a rumor. Get that. Interest rates went up because of a rumor. Like, crazy things are happening now more so than they ever have. So, like, waiting because you think that interest rates are going to come down is, like, it is so far-fetched because there's no historical data to be able to prove that.
Yeah. Sounds like they have daddy issues. I mean, seriously, like they're so far up and down, they don't know what they want to do and where they want to go over a rumor.
Over a rumor.
That's a daddy issue.
Yeah.
That's a daddy issue. And not a daddy by the president. I'm not throwing anyone under the bus in the government. Just want to clarify that for a second. Thank you.
Thank you.
Still daddy issues, but
It's crazy. It's crazy how just like one person's opinion can change the interest rates, and it can happen within hours. Like we got what we call like a reprice for the worse. So 3 times during one day that the rates got worse.
Yeah.
And nobody knew what was going on. Nobody knew why. Nobody knew how it was happening. Like nothing. Like it was insane.
well, so my question was also like, because everyone's talking about the 10-year treasury and how they dropped that. So like, was that because that's what started the rumors probably, right?
So it was something that this is going to get a little political for a second. It was something that Trump said about Powell, who is in charge of the 10-year treasury.
Got it. Okay. All right.
So yeah, and so it's essentially you have to taking advantage of being in a buyer's market right now is just the best way to do it. Like there's just using those seller concessions to buy down that rate to give you that guaranteed rate that you want. So I like to call it a strike rate. Figure out what your strike rate is. What is it that would make you be like, yeah, I will buy now? And like, just stick with that because you can't control the rest of the world.
Yeah. Because what's also going to end up happening with, like, no matter what happens with the mortgage rates, they're always going to fluctuate. And like everyone who said that they were waiting last year for this year are now saying that they're waiting for next year. And so like, that's nothing that can actually be guaranteed. And so now you're just in a situation where you're basically burning money with your rent. And I know your rent's going up because I'm a landlord and we have to go up because of our taxes getting increased. So it's just things that are happening. And the reasons why I hear why people aren't purchasing and they're renting is just baffles me because they're like, I don't want the maintenance. And I'm like, so you're just going to burn money. I was like, here's the thing. I understand the maintenance by all means. I'm not even missing that at all. 90 to 95% of homeowners get exactly what they paid for or more. Very little lose money. It's going to be the people who bought in 2021. They're going to lose money at the moment. But it's just at the moment, not saying that it's going to be forever. Just at the moment, like the people who overpaid, they paid, $100,000 over. That was on you, boo. That was on you and your agent who didn't, educate you, but whatever. You wanted the house. Hope you're happy in the house. Hopefully you're not moving by now either. If you loved it so much that much. But we just wanted to press and talk about, no one's talking about the mortgage rates. No one's talking about different mortgage options that you have, but it is a buyer's market, and taking advantage of this market is super crucial because just as much as you regretted it last year and the year before and how you're like, oh, I wish I was in 2020. Oh, I wish I was a kid in 08. No matter what, you're going to say the exact same thing in 5 years when I'm still telling you about the mortgage rates and what's going on. And other people will be buying the homes that you're looking at now and you've saved on Zillow. Basically. Well, it looks like we came to the end of our martinis.
Sure does.
And you came to the end of the video because we are responsible adults and it's a work day. So we're going to go home. But if you did like this video, please go ahead and subscribe if you haven't already. And if you have questions about the mortgages, stop asking the Facebook pages. Go ahead, comment them below, or personally text me or Chelsea. And we're happy to answer any questions you have. We're here for you guys to be a resource. So let us know. But until next time, cheers.
Cheers.